morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict, joined by Eric Shamilov. You're dressed up this morning, my young man. What's
I
going
am.
on? You getting ready for an exciting trading day?
That's why I'm wearing green.
I
You know.
like it. Of course, dude. For the viewers out there, he's the green machine. Looking for up in what was it? Looking for love in all the wrong places. You're looking for up in any market, anywhere. But you have some green on the screen today, all over actually, other than S&P, which went up last night off of. I want to get to this early. Trump laying up his friends in broken quantum computing stocks, saying that the government wants to take stakes in the stocks, and I'm really not understanding why. So I'm going
Isn't
to
it
throw it
funny
to you.
how? Isn't it funny we've been calling, uh, quantum like the real bubble. And bang, government's going in.
But my question is why? Like what? Let me ask you a question. I don't even know the market cap of these stocks, but they're tiny. And if they buy 10% stakes, it's tiny, tiny. And we're running a massive fiscal deficit with the government being closed down. And how is this even market impactful to anything? And why would he be allowed? Like the whole mantra of the government is to stay out of the private, the private public sector. So I don't know. I guess maybe some of his friends are long and he thought he'd get a bigger reaction, but the stocks, it would be interesting today if the stocks actually faded and went negative on the day off
Yeah.
this. That would be the ultimate because he's Taco Bell. So whatever he's saying.
Rigetti's up only what, 8%. It's been dropping like 10, 12%, like for 5 days in a row.
No, I'm saying, but
So
I mean, they're not real. These companies don't have any. I know you're going to tell me they have earnings. They don't have anything.
I'm
So
not. That's why I've been calling it a bubble. Like that's the bubble. But I like the move. I like the move. I think quantum computing is a strategic area that the
and you
market
and you think the
always
government.
profits everywhere in every company, but quantum computing could get really big. AI is already big. It's going to get bigger. Yeah, there's a strategic situation here for the country.
But do you think the government needs to be involved? Like, why does the government need to be involved? I'm just trying to understand, like, what, why, like, what are they
Yeah,
gonna do? I mean,
you think the market will take care of itself? I understand that.
no, I
This
mean,
is
I don't believe that the Fed should be, or not the Fed, worse than the Fed, the government should be in taking positions in different stocks. I mean, it's
listen.
just
It's
not,
pick and choose. They take positions in everywhere, in everything, right?
they
So,
do.
are we purely capitalist? I mean, I think that's BS. We're not purely capitalist. And
Okay.
now we're having to chase China, who props up their strategic industries all the time.
Okay. So basically, what's been working for the last 200 years, okay, is now being exploited and compromised because Trump wants his friends and his kids and other people to make money. Okay,
I understand. I
that that
understand.
that you're okay with? That's fine if
I'm
you're
not.
okay.
I'm not. But I'm not. But I think. Look, I know. It reminds me of a lot of these companies. They have the people running them are researchers first. They're scientists first. They're these kinds of people. They shouldn't be trying to do their company's P&L and focus on operations and things like that an MBA should. They should be focusing on quantum computing.
Eric,
So
what do you think? They don't have 100 people working in the company that are MBAs that are the top of the top? I mean, come on. The that's what a CEO does. He delegates to very, very successful and great people. Okay, and that they don't need the. I know Donald Trump is buying stock is changing that. How is Donald Trump or the U.S. government, which is kind of Donald Trump, buying wanting to buy. I just don't get it. What are they going to do? It'll go up a lot, and he'll get to trade it. I mean, he'll punt it out if Rigetti goes to 70. He'll be a net seller. I mean, now he's trading. He's tired of watching CNN and Fox all day, so now he's trading. I mean, I don't know. And it's funny. Oil is up a lot today. Obviously, news out in that
You know
space.
what's interesting? You know what's interesting? You called him the best trader who ever lived. I thought that was very funny and probably true.
Oh, well, of course. You know what? He embargoes, whatever in oil, it goes up 5%. But the day before that, he signals the market by buying 1 million barrels of oil for the strategic reserve, which between me and you is an odd lot. It's an odd lot. But it's like, hey, I
Yeah, we
bought
were
the market before the news. But whatever. It is what it is. The one thing I will say is the markets look very bad. They were all. You texted me we're going to be up 10%. You say you were joking, but when that headline came out, you go, "We're going to be up 10%." I got it. You want me to show the text?
yeah,
You
yeah.
said we'd be up ten
Show it up.
percent off this. I know you were probably joking, but you definitely thought we'd be up, and we're freaking cratering. And
I just wanted to make sure you get no sleep, so that's why I
no,
sent that text.
yeah. Well, I got a lot of sleep. I was not up overnight. Actually, the overnight move was interesting. The overnight move was lower, and then we did our regular, and reverse went higher. And this morning, we're not on the lows of overnight, but darn close. And we've retraced at least the last hour of trading when the market somehow came back. And we'll see. Today could be an interesting day. I mean, I don't know. There's always there's always something. It was interesting yesterday though. Like we moved negatively off a headline that was like nothing. And the day before, Trump was putting stuff out on Truth Social that was fairly negative for the market didn't move. So it's like you don't even know when the computer algorithm is going to be set in motion or even turned on to manipulate the market. Um, I will tell you this for people that are watching, and I've been warning of this, and I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if it was a volume problem or whatever, but Oprah, which is the option pricing network across all of the street, other than somehow IB. IB, I think, internalizes every order. Your orders don't even leave IB. They get like filled at IB or something because everybody's system was down yesterday, which I feared. They had a robust burst of volume multiple times during the day, and the pricing was not being disseminated. And we had periods of 5 to 10 minutes where we couldn't trade. We weren't getting disseminated prices. And I wasn't alone because I asked a bunch of other people. So I don't know if
Yeah,
people that are watching experience that, but the options were down. And my fear, and that was nothing. I mean, we went down like 1%, not even. I mean, what's going to happen on we have, I'm going to call it the gold day when we have the gold day because we're going to have a
yeah.
gold day.
You've been talking about this a lot, and I was like, whatever. I mean, I get it, but now you're actually seeing it. So,
Oh no, I've
you know,
seen it. I saw it yesterday, and then I saw it.
saw it
Um,
on ice
I
like
saw
2
it
weeks
on
ago.
ice about a week ago. Not even getting quotes. So what I think is the system is overloaded with data and trades. And when it gets crazy busy, which we really haven't been yet, I mean, we're a little busy, but crazy busy, no. We may have a situation, and my fear, and I think the exchange will do something about it. I don't know what they can do, but like if we get into, you know, listen, if we go down, I don't know what the limit is, but I think it's 10 or 15. I think it's 15 to close the day. Like, Imagine if we had a day where they closed trading. Like, how are people going to liquidate their positions? How are they going to not take delivery of stock that they can't take delivery of off naked put selling or whatever? So again, these are all kind of outside things, but they're things that we have to be careful for. And I'm telling you, yesterday was so strange. And we were busy. I mean, we were moving. When this stuff all shut down, we were coming in hard. Okay. And then it just shut down. So I don't know. I'm seeing a little of that. Again, we're kind of in a weird, I would say we're in a weird spot. You
Yeah,
got, you know,
definitely. Plus, it's earnings season.
Oh, what just came across my tape, which I think our viewers will appreciate and you'll appreciate. Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier arrested for a gambling scheme. Can you
What?
imagine that? Two
Hey,
NBA really good players arrested.
Billups. I would have never thought Chauncey Billups.
Gambling probe. I don't know what it is, but they arrested him, so it's got to be. Listen,
Why he
that
told the people.
that manipulation actually could be worse than the stock. It's probably the same as the stock market manipulation, but listen, maybe I'm a cynic, and you're not really. Like, I just think all this stuff, like the NBA is rigged. It just proves the NBA is rigged. Okay, you're getting the players, they're laying down. Okay, and if the spread is 5, win by 3. And we'll pay you $1 million. I mean, come on. And now they're allowing, I know this is off the subject, they're allowing NCAA players to bet on professional sports. Like, why are they even condoning all this gambling? I don't know, but I would say it kind of equates to our show in a way, because I'm telling you, you think that's big gambling? This is a gambling casino, dude. I'm watching the S&P. That's the wheel. I call it, I tell Thomas, put up the wheel. It's the wheel. It just spins all day, up and down. And we're in, which it used to not be, we're in the biggest gambling casino of all time. Think about it. We have zero DTE options. That means you have to be right today. You're basically betting for the day on whether the market's going to go up or down, right? And then if it goes up or down outsized and you happen to have it right, you can make 10, 20, 50, 100 times your money in one day. And everybody's shooting for that dream. So we don't have, listen, of course you have pure investing. So I won't say we don't. We have pure investing, but really 99% of the volume is all, I hate to use the word gambling, but it's turned this into a gambling casino, running off headlines that are meaningless. One day the headlines mean something, the next day they don't. You don't know what anyone's looking at. When I was
I don't
trading,
think the market in that way has actually changed since before zero DTE. Like before zero DTE, the market would rally or drop off of stupid headlines all the time.
no, not to the extent. There's something called gamma in options, okay, which means, so like if I sell an option today, let's say I'm making this up.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
causing gamma. That's
let's say the future price is 67 and a quarter, and I sell the 40s. Okay, I value that trade at 0. Even though the delta might be 20 or 18 or 35, it's either for me in the money or out of the money. But when it goes in the money, I got to be a net buyer. So basically, what do you mean it doesn't matter? Zero DTEs are
yeah,
forcing you.
gamma. I said, look, no, the dynamic where the market overreacts to a headline. That's always been the case, has it not?
No.
It's always been the
I
case.
don't I would tell you this. You're sitting in
And
your desk.
quantitative proof, it's always been the case. I actually did an enormous research project on this. We looked at every single news event, every single economic release across the board, and what we found was with a 4 sharp ratio, you could fade these moves. What does that mean? That means that it's the market has always overreacted to a headline.
I understand that, but dude, what you're saying is setting up to write what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, you could overreact and the market will overreact, but you're trading a 0-day option. Okay. So what you were running before 0 days or before the advent of tweeting and instant. Listen, you are 100% right. You had an economic number at 8:30. You knew it was coming out. You knew what they were expecting, and you knew where the market sat. And usually, if the number was better, the market would go up. If the number was worse, the market would go down. You now have a market that's completely different. The computer says Eric Shamilov, or Eric Shamilov's computer, thinks that if the CPI is lower, that the market's going to rally. And then what happens is it does the double head fake. It'll rally and then sell off because the computer wants to fake everybody out. Okay. But now what you have that's different in the market, and this is really important to understand, is back then there was no Trump tweeting or coming out with fake news and this. It was regular economic releases. And yes, those things probably fade in 1 to 3 days, but now we're trading for 1 hour. Everything is a snippet of time. Okay. If you
Yeah.
can buy that zero DTE at 2 and Trump tweets that, we're doing a deal with China and the market goes up 2%, you
Yeah.
scored. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the difference in where we
Yeah,
live
there's
right
more
now.
gamma. There's more there are more intraday gamma events.
No, they're
100%.
all day long. That we can't get through. We're not getting through today without something. It's every day. I don't know what
Yeah.
it's going to be. It's going to be totally fake, but it's going to move the market because everybody's playing the game of zero DTE. The volume in options has exploded to record levels by far. We're doing more options. And I think it's important for people to understand options, use options. It's a way better way to trade and even invest. You can invest in leaps for the long term. There's a million different ways to use options. And now you're in a market where it's inefficient with public not even understanding what they're buying and selling, what fair value pricing, put call ratio, all of these things, they don't know and they don't care, which I understand. They want to buy something at 2 and sell it at 4. They don't care. They literally do not care. So
At
so
four.
that
Oh, no,
being
no, no. They want to buy it at 2 and sell it at 15.
exactly, exactly. Whatever, but professional traders
Got
want
to
to buy.
right? Are you like I'm actually looking for that sometimes. Like I'm positioning my book to account for the possibility of that. Like like you can't fight that. This is the market now. There's going to be moves like this all the time going forward. Do you think it's ever going to end?
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to end. Well,
Oh,
how?
100%.
That means they would have to ban zero DTE SPX options. They can do
No,
it.
it's being fueled by the administration releasing things and putting fake news into the market and markets reacting. So when this will end, okay, is when they put a new president in that's not like this president, which, listen, for volatility, Donald Trump is unbelievable. It's just you don't know when that volatility, the market believes the volatility, like,
Somebody knows. It's just not us. Somebody definitely knows, just not us.
what do you mean? He lays up Howard Ludnick at Cantor and tells him what he's going to do, and then they go in and buy a gazillion puts or calls and whatever. But literally, it's the hardest part. We understand there's news, and we understand the hardest part is to understand why on one day the market doesn't move off what you would think would be perceived as crazy news. And then yesterday, there's like some fake BS headlines, and we're moving like 20 handles back and forth. So that's the hardest part. It's not the fact that we do move. It's the fact. It's the fact that it's the fact that you can't figure out which headline or what's going to move the market. And sometimes they turn the computer off and all of this stuff. But
Yeah, we
you
had
know,
to maneuver like crazy yesterday. We had a headline. We had two headlines. Russia, right, with sending missiles over. So that was one headline, and then the the software headline banning software uh, to China. So yesterday was a good example.
well, and
You
then we
had
had the oil headline. We've been bullish on oil. We actually got out yesterday, which is kind of disappointing. We wrote it for what I thought was an unbelievable trade. Oil is now up 10% from the low. I actually think it's probably a short and overreaction. Again,
Yeah.
you
So
gotta
I
do it.
so I'm thinking I'm thinking it's potentially an overreaction, and I'm looking for opinions to tell me why it might be an overreaction. Why is it an overreaction?
Why is this an overreaction?
You think? Yeah, I'm just curious.
Because I
Like,
think
they
I I think the market's well supplied. Okay. I think that we have a ton of oil. And I just think that Trump has the Saudis in his pocket, right? Trump has the Saudis in his pocket. And, you just have to realize that. And I think that that's the inherent, how like they had the Fed put, like that's the inherent, you know, I would say upside call stopper or put, inherent put on the market that he has the Saudis anytime he wants to basically, put more oil into the market. So, I think we're at a fair level. I thought when we got to 56, which was only 2 days ago, it was too low. Now we traded 62. That's a 13% move in 3 days. That's a pretty good move. So, if you're looking to trade it, it's probably a trading short. But, we liked it down there. I think if it gets back down there, you can buy it again. But I don't see, barring some type of crazy event, I don't really see much happening to the upside there. But you know, we'll monitor that. But I think it's for a trade. It's coming a little this morning, so I didn't like it as much right here as a short, but I do like it. At 62 is a definite trading short. Oil oil's been a good mover. Gold
You
is
like gold. Come on,
I'm
admit
long.
it. You,
Listen, I'm long gold, but I told you, it's
the
actually
bar.
going more than I thought, which I'm really kind of happy because we were short gold the whole way down, and now we're long gold. Maybe there's another $20-$30 max in gold on the upside, and then we'll trade it again to the short side. That's how I recommend doing this. So we covered oil. We've been very clear and concise of what we think there. We've been telling people to buy oil, and now I'm telling people on a trading basis that you could probably short oil here. Um, Gold, we were short it. Now we're long it. We think it may move another 20-30 bucks. And then maybe we get
Hey, one of your, uh, do you have a USO position for your product? Did you have one?
yes. Why?
Did you get out yesterday? No, you have a question from one of your subscribers.
Hmm.
Like, did Larry get out of USO yesterday?
Oh no, no, no. We're still in it. I was talking about for my ETF. Um, we're still in it. You can't trade USO overnight. You can't trade options on USO. They don't trade. Although I've been
So
receiving,
your people are gonna get massively rewarded this morning.
yeah. Let me tell you this. I would tell you that yeah, they will, and I'm happy about that. But what I received is notification from the options exchanges that they're going to go to 24-hour trading, which is going to be unbelievable. I mean, they have 24-hour trading in SPX right now, which is phenomenally amazing. But now they're going to have it on all stocks, which is good for us and our subscribers because, if we get an overnight move and people are up or getting the notifications, they'll be able to get out. But yeah, we clipped a good one in USO, and
What are you gonna do for your subs as the market opens with USO
I'm gonna sell it out.
right away?
Yeah, I want to look at the pricing. I want to look at the pricing, so we'll see. I mean, again, we'll see. Everyone who's with me, that is a subscriber, will get the notification in the inbox. And, as long as USO is above 72 and a half, I think it's a good level. And, since we've been on the air, the S&P's firmed a little. We went from crashing to being okay. So the market's somehow okay. I think
You're a
probably in,
product of you're a product of the environment.
no,
A
I
mere
think
10
that, what do you mean?
a 10-point move flips you just like it does everyone else these days.
Well, what are you talking about, Eric? We had a $45 move in S&P yesterday and the world ended. VIX went above 20 yesterday on a $45 down move. The VIX was trading yesterday 2080, okay, at like 1 o'clock in a crash mode, okay? And the market came up 18 handles and the VIX went to 18 again. So you tell me what the environment is. I'm only trading product of the environment. I see what the environment is. I mean, the
You know
environment
what
is
I'm curious about? I want to exchange notes on how we handled the maneuvering yesterday after that headline. Like, did you have put spreads that you needed to hedge yesterday after that headline?
what headline are you talking about?
When he came out with withholding software to China.
I understand, but what I didn't freak it, dude. The market was down anyway. It didn't move more than 30 handles off that. Like you're saying, I'm product of the environment. You're product of the environment.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the product.
Well, you must be if you're saying that headline moved the market crazy. I mean, come on. I mean, crazy.
Crazy enough where my put spreads were
Right,
20
but it's
points.
funny you're making fun of me saying like the move in spoos of $10 is a big deal, and now you're saying a $30 move off a headline is a big
Yeah,
deal.
because
And
I'm laughing at it because we're all we're forced to be a product of the environment. That's literally our job is to understand the environment and then become a product of it
yeah,
every freaking day, 9:30 to 4.
okay, but let me ask you a question. What's going to happen? And I saw it. You know what? I'm going to be nice. I was going to actually say something. I'm going to refrain from saying it, but
All
I'll
right,
refer.
I don't.
I'll refer
Hey,
back.
say it, Unc. I have crazier uncles than you in my family. I'm
Okay,
older.
so what I would say is the Fed had a meeting about a year ago, and basically we had a 2 sigma move, and you were
No,
white
no,
as a ghost.
we had I think it was a 4 sigma move.
3. I'll go with 3. We were down
All
200
right.
S&P points. So what I'm saying though is I think I think we're going to have that. And I think we're going to have, I'm going to call it when it happens, the gold day. Okay. The day where the market is down 3 to 5% minimally in a day. Okay. And what people always say to me is this they're like, and this is a product of the environment also. They go, what's the headline? And you even do it kind of, what's going to move the market? What's the headline? And I'm telling you, like, if you look at gold, and before gold moved down, I was saying, and I've been saying for 6 months, like gold is up today, $85 or whatever, $70. I can't even tell you why. I don't even have one thing that I'm looking at on the board that's giving me information. It's actually the clues on the board are saying gold should be down today. Okay. So
What are
what
those clues?
I'm telling you is
Okay, what are those clues?
I don't know, a weak bond market, okay, a little bit stronger dollar, things that should not move gold in a positive direction. I'm not saying it has anything to do with it, but you're trading a market. This is a casino game. It's not, it used to be like, listen, I would come into work in the 80s and especially in the 90s and 2000s. Okay. I would come to work, and my job was to figure out what I called the puzzle pieces. I would put the puzzle pieces together to formulate what would make a market move. So I would say, hey, listen, people watching that know me for years, and have traded with me know what we used to do. And we used to make tons of money doing it. We're like, okay, well, you know what? Europe is strong. Our market is kind of weak. We've been following Europe. So, I would be a buyer. Okay. Also, the bond market looks strong. And when the bonds are strong, usually the market goes up and the currencies, all of that stuff is out the window. I'm sitting here today and I can't tell you how the SPOO was just down $17 and now is unchanged. I'm just
Larry,
saying.
for every clue, okay, rates are up, so that means gold should be down. I could give you a different clue. I
Yes,
can say, I could say, hey, the 210 spread is up today, and gold loves a rising yield curve. That's why it's up.
but they
So all
don't.
these clues,
Eric, but they
what?
don't. They're not clues. They're not. They don't give you anything. What
Exactly,
I'm
they're not
saying,
clues. There's sometimes they're clues,
no, you're
and some.
trading in the Eric. You're trading in the complete blind. Okay, gold went down 6% in one day. That's a mini crash. That's not a crash. Crash is over 10%. Mini crash, okay, in a day, and you have no reason why other than the fact that the market was caught too long, which we discussed. Okay, then listen, this is a good trade here. This has been a good trade setup. So this is the trade setup. You ready? And this used to work all the time. And I'm going to give you the trade setup in gold. Gold was a 10-star short. Did I think it was going to drop 6% in a day? No, I didn't. But I definitely thought it was topped out, and fundamentally, and every single person that I knew personally was buying gold. Okay, that never bought a stick of gold in their life. Okay,
That's
that
why it
made
dropped.
me
That's
that
the only
no
reason.
no, that made me leery. Can you let me go through the anatomy of
Yeah,
this trade so you
no
can
problem.
understand it? Okay, so that was the first part of the trade. So let me ask you this: is gold in an uptrend or a downtrend? You
Up.
know the answer. Right. So it's in an uptrend, right? So
Bingo.
this is a perfect anatomy of a mean reversion trade. So the market comes down 6%, okay? After going down 6%, it opened up the next day. You knew it couldn't be good because you knew the liquidations weren't done. So yesterday you traded on the downside with heavy liquidation, okay? But the trend is still for the moment higher. So we talked about this too. A $20, $30 down move in gold isn't going to kill you now because the market has volatility and come back 50 points in 10 minutes. And now you've had a 150-point rally. I mean, gold went down to 4,000. So you've had over a 150-point rally in gold. So that's the anatomy of the trade. And that's why on the opening, I'm getting out because I don't think that the full liquidation is over. And now the market, I'm not saying the market's not in an uptrend, but the market is 100% what I call busted. It's busted. Okay. Because the longs got hurt. They got to listen. You have to admit there was liquidation, right? No one could sustain a 10% down move from the peak, right? Or nine. Okay. So you had liquidation. So this trade setup worked really, really well. And I would suggest that people that are long gold, you may get a little more, maybe 10 or $20, but it's too risky to stay in my mind, for a 10 or 20 point up move from here. Again, I would look to even fade this move, but I would not fade it ever with futures. I would do maybe an out of money call spread or buy a put. But this trade setup set up really, really well. And gold's been like
Actually, I'm gonna say something. Everything you just described, the anatomy of a mean reversion trade. I would have somebody on your team literally take that piece of transcript and create a product around that, because that's your edge right there. That's your edge.
well, you don't
That
get listen, you don't
reversion.
get this trade all that
You've been
much.
talking about mean reversion a long time. This is the first time I actually heard you articulate it perfectly. That was good.
Well, I just showed the trade, but that's really what our strategy does. Okay, it's just very difficult. It's funny because now we're finding other places other than the S&P 500, which is fully rigged beyond belief to not have any kind of down days or whatever. But like, listen, oil's moved 15% off the low, or 12. Okay, that's as big a move as the stock market's up on the year. It's done it in 3 days. That's a good place to hide. Gold's moved back and forth 15%. So there's other places to go, than the S&P market, which, like I said before, systems were going down yesterday. People were freaking out yesterday, and the SPOO was down $50, dude, at the most. What is that? What? Tell me what that is. Like, And it's leading me to believe almost the same thing in gold. This market is a paper tiger. It's not real. It's real as long as we're going up and everything's sustained. But
So
if
that's
we
where we'll stop. This is where I'll stop agreeing with you because I don't think
okay,
it's fake. You're saying I think it's very real, and gold is hard money. All right, there's different types of money. Gold is historically hard money. Economies throughout history switch from hard money to soft money, back to hard money. And there's a shift now away from soft money, fake money, paper money. And there's a slow and grinding shift towards hard money.
how are you equating gold to money? Like I don't understand. Gold is
What
not
don't
money.
you understand? You don't
Well,
understand 3, 4, 5,000 years of history? I mean, come on.
no, it was taken as it used to be. Gold was dollars. Okay. If you had gold, that was what was backing the US dollar. That ended in what, the 60s or 70s or
Uh,
whenever. Okay. So gold is not money. Gold has zero to do with money. Okay. And I'm
yeah,
not going to
we went from
argue.
hard
I'm not going
money.
to
Right,
argue this
right.
point because I I I started in business in the 80s. Okay. In the 80s, because I don't know when you were born, but the Hunt brothers cornered the market in gold and silver in 82. Okay. And let me
Wasn't
tell
it
you
just
something.
it was just silver. I know the story.
What? No, they bought silver and they were buying gold. Not as much gold, but they tried to corner the market, okay? And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
believe it or not, they were right. The pricing was completely wrong. They were doing that at a couple of $100 an ounce for gold, okay? And same thing in silver. It was under freaking $10, okay? So they were totally right, okay? But the bottom line is you're trading a market that's big, but not that big. I mean, how can this be determinant on the largest market in the world times 20 or 50, the currency market? Okay. The dollar trades against every currency in the world. Okay. So listen, I get it and I get what you're saying, but I just think the market is so small. Okay. That relative that, that it's not dollars. It can't be. The dollar market is 500 times bigger than this. Okay. 500 times the amount. Like, I'll blow your mind. You ready? I've traded in my life in currencies. This is true. $1 trillion in notional currencies in my life. Okay. That's just one guy. That's me. $1 trillion. Okay. That's literally, I don't know what the size of the gold market is. Okay. But it's certainly not anything that equates to the amount of dollars that are flowing through the market on a daily basis in currencies. So,
It doesn't
I think,
matter. No,
why
comparing
would
the
it not
size of the
matter? Why
market
would it not
is not.
matter? I know, but why
It
would it
doesn't
not
matter because I'll tell you why. Because in order to have soft money like dollar or euro or yen, right? That's fiat. In order to have that, you also need hard money. Otherwise,
Why?
the,
Why?
that's
Why
just the
you think gold
value.
is what's gold backing? Tell me what gold's backing. It's backing nothing. It's not
Okay,
backing
but
one currency.
somehow humanity. I mean, we're talking trading, but now we have to talk philosophical, I guess. Humanity has accepted this as a form of hard money for thousands of years, and that's it. You're not going to fight that.
Okay, but
And
tell me
then from
where.
there,
No,
you're
no,
able to
they
build
accepted it.
economies that print money from there because you have that base of hard money. Without the hard, it's like you have bedrock or a foundation, and then you build the stuff on top. Now, the stuff on top gets blown away from a hurricane. You still have the foundation. That's hard money.
Eric, can you, Thomas? Can you find out the value, the notional value of gold, all the gold in the world?
20
It ain't that
trillion.
big. I'm trying to tell you that you're talking about a market that's the value of a few stocks combined in the US stock market. You're saying is backing the
It's 20 trillion.
multi
It's around 20 trillion asset class.
30 trillion, dude. Okay,
20.
come on. Come on. Come on. It's actually crazy.
But it's the
I
wrong
want
argument.
to
It's
end
like,
the conversation. The conversation, you could keep saying how gold is backing money, and it's crazy. It's a $30 trillion market. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you got to see the currency market is hundreds and hundreds of trillions trading on a daily basis. I mean, come on.
It's an incorrect. It's a comparison that doesn't play in this argument. It's not
Well, what
doesn't
are you
play.
trying
So
to
what?
argue? What are you trying to argue that gold is real and gold? Like, what are you
There's
trying
nothing
to
to
do?
argue. I'm just going by history. There's not one currency that existed 300 years ago that currently exists. There's not one.
Okay, so what does that have to do with
Not in its
anything?
original form,
And I'm
anyway.
not disagreeing. They used to trade in gold and they traded in wheat. And at one point they were trading in tulip bulbs. Okay. They had a,
By the way, that's an interesting
so
thing. The tulip thing.
gold's been off that. Gold's been off that for hundreds of years. Okay. You listen to me. If you think that something is going to go on in the market and you're going to walk around with a gold. Let me ask you this. They're not like I'm trading GLD. Let me ask you this. All our subscribers, okay, and people that watch us are trading GLD, the gold ETF. What do you own when you own the gold ETF? Do you actually own gold? No, you do not. Okay. The ETF
Yeah,
owns.
I'm slowly buying coins. I
Okay,
know a lot
great.
of
And what are
people
you
that,
going to do with them when the world
but
goes upside down?
I'm relying on a no collapse situation. So
I
I'm kind
understand,
of
but what
trusting
are you
the
going to
system.
do with your gold coins if the market collapses? That's what I'm trying to understand.
People love Bitcoin. This is why people love Bitcoin, Larry,
Oh, why?
because it solves a lot of problems. Like, what are you going to do with your
What are you
coins?
going to do with your Bitcoin? That's what I don't
You
understand.
have
What
to go. You can
I
go.
don't
I can
listen.
take Bitcoin in Bitcoin.
We're late
I
in the
can go to a
podcast.
country and cash out my
Oh my
Bitcoin.
God. Dude, we're late in the podcast. I'm not going to Bitcoin right now and saying how Bitcoin is going to replace the dollar. Listen, there's a guy in my country club who's a knucklehead.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead, Eric.
What?
Just go ahead. You're interrupting me, so go ahead. Say
No,
what you
all
want
I
to
said
say.
was I'm not saying that Bitcoin is replacing the dollar yet. That's not part of the
Yet?
conversation.
Okay, yet. Okay, so it's coming, right? It's coming.
There's a 10% chance.
Okay. I would say that okay, you're gonna okay, and how are you gonna operate with Bitcoin? I'm just trying to understand. Like I just don't even understand it. Okay.
That's
But
a good question. That would mean that the monetary system would have to completely change because our monetary system is based on the ability to print money, but Bitcoin has a capped supply. So you can't really use modern monetary theory using Bitcoin as your money because
I would tell
it's
you
hard.
50 years from today, you're going to read about Bitcoin. Okay. It's going to be one of the most unbelievable stories ever told. Okay. That Hashimoto or whoever this guy is, they don't know who they don't know who he is. They don't know who the
That's
guy is that invented it. Okay. He invented this thing. Okay. And literally, they have a finite number of coins, but yet you're minting coins every single day through energy. And you know how you get more coins? By producing energy and running transactions. Okay,
right.
whatever, dude. I know it's replacing the dollar. You're right. It's all good.
I said 10% chance. I didn't say
It is a
90%.
great listen. It's a great gambling vehicle. Although what I explained before on our podcast, don't expect anything from Bitcoin like you've seen in the past. Meaning you're not going to see a doubling, a tripling, a quadrupling. The price is too high and it's too institutionally owned. And talking about Bitcoin for 1 second, it's trading at 109. Okay. It's been here multiple times. It got down to like 107. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Tell me. I know it's going
I kind
to
of like it here. I
you
kind of
don't
like
like
it
it
here.
here?
As a
No.
trade, as a trade, I kind of like it. I kind of like it.
You don't or you do? You
I
said
like
you
it.
don't like
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I kind of like it. I'm not convicted about it yet, but I'm watching it for, I would like it a little bit more. if it could hold, 106, 105.
I would tell you
Which
if we get to 106, 105, we're going through 100 quickly. So I think you'll have better levels to buy it. But anyway, we've been a little sidetracked. Again, it's funny watching the S&P during the show. It was down 11, it was down 16, went green. Now it's down 5. It was just down 10. It just seems like we're kind of sitting around today. I don't know what we're waiting on. Maybe the next headline. Besson is going over to Europe, right, with Jameson Greer. I mean, over to
Malaysia,
yeah, Asia. Um,
Malaysia.
no, I know it's in Malaysia. I believe is in Asia, but anyway, he's going over to Asia, and we'll see what happens. And it's going to be the same thing. They're going to say they had amazing talks. Everything is moving forward in a great direction, and
You think
then
really?
yeah, and then Donald Trump's going to move back to tariffs. I'm literally in that camp. Okay, I mean, my thought on this whole thing is if Trump really wanted to put the screws to these guys, why is he waiting to put the tariffs on? Why doesn't he put them on immediately? He could put tariffs on today if he wanted to. So why is he waiting? He's waiting because he's not going to do it. So the market already knows that. Um, but
I didn't like how he looked at that press conference, and it made me think about you know the stuff you've been going on about that China has the upper hand. He looked
I mean,
very like
I do think they do. I mean, it's never going to come out that way, but I do think they do. And again, if we had the upper hand, why would he wait to put tariffs on? Why would he say on October 12th that November 1st tariffs are going on? Doesn't even make sense. Like, put them
it's
on now.
funny how with the meeting you're seeing these headlines from both parties like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. They haven't even met like face to face yet. So as soon as
Yeah,
they
but don't
come
you
to the
think
meeting,
don't you think
they
it's
already have
ironic?
their sleeves rolled up for a fight. You know,
But don't you think it's ironic though that this is like the 18th meeting this year? Like literally the 18th meeting. They've had so many meetings that they're meeting on top of meetings, and every time these guys have a meeting, they say how amazing the meeting is. Great meeting. I mean, come on, Eric, Great meeting, best meeting of all time. It's the same nonsense every single time. So,
so you think the way this goes is they come in, Trump starts. He's a great guy. He's a good friend of mine. I love. They call him Winnie the Pooh in China. They call Xi Winnie the Pooh, but whatever.
oh,
So
really?
he's gonna compliment him, blah blah blah, and then he's gonna kick the can down the road another 90 days.
100%. But the one thing that nobody is realizing, and you asked me at the beginning of the podcast, and I want to end the podcast with this, and then I'll throw it back to you to get everybody set up for the trading day. Um, I would just say, you know, everything that's coming out now is like it's utterly distracting in the market. What are you looking at, man? Gold?
I'm looking at the straddle. No,
Where is it? It's got to be at
um,
least 40. I'm going with
nope,
40.
you're wrong.
Where is it?
It's 32.
What is it?
32.
Okay. Still not horrible. Not amazing, but not horrible. Um, you know. And as we leave, gold is rallied, which is good for us. Oil is rallying, which is good for us. And keep an eye on your inbox today. We should be doing a couple of trades for sure. And I wish everybody good luck trading. I don't know if you want to end on anything, but today should be choppy inside kind of day, as you would say, iron condor. No day is ever an iron condor. Even yesterday, you're like, maybe this is an iron condor. No day is an iron condor, people. I'm just,
It turned out to work, but you had to maneuver. My put spreads were deep in the money at one
Yeah, I
point.
mean, listen, the market is it's a little bit crazy out there. So, we'll keep an eye on everything. Keep an eye on your inbox today. We should be getting a couple of trades out to you. And again, just wait for the next headline. And you'll know today after the first one or two headlines whether the market's going to move, because there are some days where the market doesn't move. Like 2 days ago, we didn't move off anything. When he went to 155% tariff, the market didn't even move. It actually sold off 8 handles and rallied 20, because we were in an uptrend. So keep an eye on all of that. And we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if you want to close on anything, but I wish everyone really good luck trading today. And just keep an eye on your inbox for some trades. Any
Have a
thoughts?
good one.
All right.
Have a great
Enjoy.
day.
Good luck,
Bye.
everyone.